Welcome to the Feminine Magic School of Manifesting. I am so excited you're here. On behalf of the entire team, we're so excited to have you and to be supporting you in fully activating your feminine manifesting powers so you can create whatever you wish to be, do, or have consistently and with ease. Now, first things first, remember that this is not about manifesting stuff. Well, it is about manifesting stuff to a certain extent, but that's not the only thing it's about. This is not about having a mansion and a yacht for the sake of having those things, though there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you choose. The stuff you want is actually a desire, and that comes from your essence or your higher self. And it is pointing you in the direction of growth, expansion, and ultimately your contribution here on the planet. Magic is the path of return, from being asleep at the wheel and creating on autopilot, being at the mercy of our patterns and our egoic mind, to leading our lives as the divine beings we truly are, in our full divine power, fulfilling our true will and our mission. This program is about manifesting, and it's also about the journey back to your divine nature. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is approach this program with this deeper result in mind. Now that said, would you like to know how you can practically guarantee that you finally get this manifesting thing down and create consistent results with ease from here on out? Here are some magical best practices that will help you do just that. Now, as I go through these, listen for what I call the goddess winks, those little ahas and messages that come through me to you from the divine. For some of you, the divine is trying to get a message to you right now, and I'm the messenger. So be open to receive what you're here to hear, the message that is meant for you. Now, the first best practice is to take full responsibility for your results. I sometimes call this step 0 because being willing to take 100% responsibility for everything in your life is the most crucial step you will ever take as a magician, a magic maker, a witch, a priestess, a powerful feminine creator of your reality. No matter what your results to date or what has been done to you in the past, taking responsibility instantly restores your power back where it belongs, with you. And for that reason alone, it's worth doing. Taking responsibility, that is. Now, I want to be very clear here. You are not taking responsibility for someone else, nor are you blaming yourself for someone else's behavior toward you or to you. You're not blaming yourself for your behavior toward you or to you. People have done terrible, awful things, and you may be one of those people who've had those things done to them. That is serious business. I am not minimizing that. What we are not taught, unfortunately, is that we always have a choice as to how we're going to respond. Now, there is no downside for taking 100% responsibility for your life. I believe that with my life, and I have found that to be true in my life. Now, on that note, your results in this program are 100% up to you. If you want all the juicy results that come with learning magic and manifesting, there's no getting around taking personal responsibility. And it begins or continues right here. Now, the second best practice is to insist on crystal clear outcomes. The biggest reason why most people never get what they want is because they aren't clear on exactly what they want. The universe, spirit, source, the divine, the infinite creative life force energy, the field, whatever you call it, the universe responds to clarity. Clarity is essential for successful manifestation. Now, that said, something to keep in mind, not being clear is a great place to hide out because clarity is confronting. When we're clear on what we want, we really have to come to grips with all the reasons why we don't have it yet. So if you struggle with this, be gentle with yourself. And I invite you to use this program to go to a new standard for yourself around clarity. If you're unclear, your first manifesting goal can be to get clear. Clarity requires honesty with oneself and giving oneself permission. If this is an edge for you, then it's one of your biggest opportunities in this program, hands down. Now, the third best practice and way to make sure you succeed in this program no matter what is to have a big why for every outcome. In other words, know why you want what you want. Manifestation is a form of the creative process. What fuels the creative process is tension, the energy we find between where we are now and where we want to be. In other words, there is a gap and you experience tension, a pull, an impetus to move. And because you want to fill that gap and break that tension, if there is something that you want that you don't have yet and you truly want it, you can be sure of two things. One, there is tension. Two, there is a why. There is a reason why you want it. No why, no gap. No tension, no manifestation. Now, another way to look at that tension is urgency. Those of you who have been in our business trainings have heard me talk about this with regards to selling. Urgency, and only urgency, is what moves money in a sales process. If there's no urgency, there's no sale. Similarly, when there's no urgency, there's no manifestation. What fuels the urgency? Your why. So why am I telling you all this? Well, because I know you've likely heard, know your why. But I'm guessing that no one told you why that why is so important. And more importantly, how you can use this why very consciously to create urgency and tension in the creative process. Tension seeks resolution. So when there's tension, there's movement that will literally pull you along with it without effort. The trick, though, is you have to have the tension pull you in the right direction, the direction of your goal instead of resistance, which is why if you want to manifest quickly, it pays to have a big why. You use that why as the impetus, as the fuel, as the thing that creates the tension to pull you in the direction you want to go. Now, best practice number 4 is to claim your desires. As a power manifester, one of the first things you must do is claim your desires. This means to accept fully and without apology that you have desires, that they matter, that you're having them because you are here for a reason and your desire is tied to your purpose. You must accept also that you have the desire to receive all the abundance the world has to offer. I want to make an important distinction. When I say deserve, I don't mean entitled. One of the things that trips people up is that they confuse the two. They make that act of feeling deserving something that is really wrong or bad. They turn it into entitlement. Many people align deserving with being greedy or taking from others. We are all deserving simply by virtue of being alive. Every person on this planet deserves love, happiness, abundance, and to have their needs met. Everyone is worthy. You are worthy. To be a power manifester means that you're going to claim your desires. You have just as much a right as anyone else to be happy and fully actualized. While we all have that right, no one can give it to us but ourselves. No one can give that happiness and actualization to us but ourselves. Now, there's another important aspect of this, and it goes along with clarity, as we were talking about before. The law of polarity states that if we have a desire, it is already present and it is in our world. The way to call it into our lives already exists right now, which means you already have everything you desire. It's already here. The reason why you don't have it in the physical yet is because you haven't claimed it. That is why the second step in the core manifesting process is claiming. Manifesting is serious spiritual work. It is not the time or space to be wishy-washy. If you want to live your dream, you must have clarity and you must have conviction. If you did nothing else in this program other than get really, really clear, claim, and then follow through to the best of your ability, you would see a 180-degree change in your results. Now, best practice number 5 is be willing to let go of what's not serving you. All of the steps of the core manifesting process are important, but there's one on which the entire manifestation rests, and that is releasing attachments, letting go of whatever you need to let go of to manifest your desire. That could be stories, it could be habits, it could be beliefs, it could be choices, it could be actions or non-actions. It's always something. Because if you did not have that attachment, then at the very least, you would have a very different situation than the one that you're currently experiencing. And you may even have your desire itself. One of my favorite magical teachers said once, the only cause of non-miracles is resistance. Resistance comes from hanging on to something that is asking to be released. And the more you let go, the more often, the faster you will manifest. It can take some time to be able to see what you need to let go of. That's one of the tricks that the ego mind plays on us. So be patient with yourself, but commit to the principle and the practice of letting go. All right, best practice number 6, be willing to be in the mystery. We're talking about creative tension a few minutes ago. and the gap between where you are now and where you desire to be. That gap is present in any manifestation. What happens in that gap is what I call the mystery. You don't need to know how it's going to happen. You may not know the how. There's a lot of flying blind as we manifest. And usually there's some sort of mess. The mystery is not orderly. Your subconscious is freaking out. It's causing all sorts of things to blow up. This is totally normal. It may even look like you're going backward before you go forward. And there's a lot of tension. Now, what happens to most people? What happens to them when they're in the mystery? Well, they want to get out of the mystery. It's uncomfortable. It can be unfun. It can look as though it's not working. It often looks like it's not working. And there's tension. Tension seeks resolution, so the urge is to retreat and go backward. And did I mention that it's uncomfortable? So what most people do is try to get out of the mystery as soon as possible. But the mystery is where the magic happens. So what I'm going to invite you to do right now is turn this on its head. Lean into the mystery. Love the mystery. Instead of perceiving and experiencing the mystery as uncomfortable, as this unpleasant place, I invite you to approach the mystery with curiosity, with excitement, because really the mystery is an adventure. The mystery is where your divinity and the laws of the universe get grounded here in the physical plane, which is to say, the mystery is where the miracles occur. So mystery equals adventure, excitement, amazing, and love. And the more time you're willing to stand in the mystery and be in the mystery, the more miracles you'll experience. All right, best practice number 7 is to fail fast and recommit faster. One piece of wisdom that I'm constantly sharing with our clients is that every act of commitment is really an act of recommitment. What does this mean? It means you will fail. As much as creating new things can be easy, it's not automatic. You're actually rewriting and retraining and reconditioning responses, right? You're rewiring your brain and you're retraining yourself. This means you will stray, you will go off course, you will get distracted, you'll fall back into old patterns and habits. You're human. And it doesn't matter if you get triggered, get angry, activated, frustrated, backslide, or feel like you're out of control. You will do all those things. I'm just going to be straight, right? What matters is how quickly you get back on the path. You will be asked to recommit every commitment you make. Now, in manifestation, there's no failure, only feedback. Something else you may have heard before. All successful people fail their way to success, and you will too when you commit to recommit. Recommitment puts you right back in the mystery and the miracles. So I would love to know what is good about this. What's good about what you just learned? What's a goddess wink you received in this short session? Post your answers on the Facebook group along with your introduction. You're going to find guidelines on the group too. Be sure to read those and especially make note of our no promotions policy. Now, if you haven't already, be sure to check out your Kickstart materials and do them. These practices are the foundation that we will return to again and again and again. They are your first mini system to effortlessly pull you towards success. One thing I recommend is that you get yourself a 3-ring binder for your materials. Print everything out as you go along. I do this too. I have my binder with all of my Feminine Magic School of materials in it. Right? The worksheets and the handouts are going to be part of what witches like to call your Book of Shadows. Part instruction manual, part diary. Your Book of Shadows becomes your guide and record of your journey. And you're going to be amazed at how different your life will look, even in just a year when you really dive in and do this work. So let's document it along the way. Above all, enjoy the adventure you're about to take. We are so happy to have you with us. Bright blessings.